Colin, this is a painting by William Holman Hunt about a missionary that's being sheltered. The thing that strikes me about it straight away is how detailed it is. Would Ruskin have approved of that, do you think?
Oh, Ruskin very much approved of this microscopic detail of these early pre-Raphaelite pictures. This picture, exhibited in 1850, is therefore one of the really the key works in the pre-Raphaelite movement, and it was painted very much in answer to Ruskin's recommendation that artists should look very, very closely at nature, not just paint out of their imaginations, but actually examine what was before them and reproduce microscopic detail on the canvas.
So that means then that each of these little groups of figures he would have set up using models, does it?
He would have set up each figure exactly in the right pose, not necessarily all together, because of course they lived in, they worked in small studios, and the faces were painted certainly from his friends.
So that means as well that everything they're wearing and everything they're holding is very carefully thought about. It's not an accidental thing.
Well, there was one artist a bit earlier who said that if you've only got an hour to do something, you spend 40 minutes planning it and 20 minutes executing it. And certainly in Holman Hunt's case, this final painting is the product of many weeks, if not months, of forethought, of careful consideration in each detail and in the general composition.
So does that mean that I can interpret what all these things mean then? And if I can, would you just like to say what a couple of the things do mean here?
So one of the curiosities of Holman Hunt is that not only was he keen on microscopic detail, I mean, if you take a close-up look at some of these individual elements, you'll see just how extraordinarily fine the painting is, but also each detail has a much more general symbolic meaning. So, for example, here we've got this young man squeezing grapes into a little container. This is a reference to the Holy Communion. This subject is essentially Christian, and so this is a reference to the Eucharist. Similarly, this girl here has got a thorny branch which she's removing from the feet or the clothing of the missionary. This is a reference to the crown of thorns that Christ was forced to wear.
And I notice up here there's a girl with a sponge and a bowl. What would that be a reference
and
to?
that would be a reference to Mary Magdalene. So each detail has got references to episodes in the Bible, in the New Testament.
And I suppose this is a painting about religious persecution, isn't it?
Essentially, this is a Christian subject, but the reference, the relevance is much more universal. So we've got these kind Christians protecting this Christian missionary. In the background, we've got the heathens, the infidel, the non-believers who are persecuting and in fact have caught one of his brethren. And this can be applied to all sorts of religious persecution, which has gone on as long as the world, it's as old as the world, and will continue. If you transpose this scene to a country in the Middle East, for example, it would be just exactly like a newspaper report.